Hi Year 3, it is Thursday, time for some maths. We are changing things up a little bit now for the next 2 days, doing some practical multiplication activities. So you've got 2 activities to complete today, which will follow on after this little introduction. You're going to need an egg box, preferably a 12 egg sized egg box, which will need to be empty. 2 small items like counters, or you can get 2 pebbles, some pens, some paper and some colouring pens as well. Now the videos that are going to follow, giving you the methods to play these games at home and to do a piece of artwork for your multiplication today, were filmed last year for the Year 3s last year, and the Year 3s really enjoyed them. So ignore anything that is said about the time of year or about last year's Year 3s. Just concentrate on the activities because that's the most important part. And hopefully you get to have a game with somebody at home maybe, or even on your own, and create some multiplication artwork to help you remember your times table facts. So we would love to see what you do today. If you record a little video, you can upload it onto Seesaw or you can send it us via email. And obviously we'd love to see your artwork, your multiplication artwork as well. So remember, the videos that you are going to watch next were pre-recorded last year, and so they may mention things that don't seem as if it is at this time of year or for you guys. But don't worry about that, just concentrate on the activities. Good luck, and I will speak to you soon. Hello Year 3, back to it, and it's been really lovely to hear some of your feedback from our videos, that you've enjoyed doing some more practical activities. It's really important, and today we're not going to offer a worksheet alternative, which we did for this lesson anyway, because we know that this task particularly needs a lot of practical skills. So the last time I recorded, if you remember, I had to close the curtains because it was dark, and it's about the same time, so it just goes to show how the evenings are getting lighter for the summer because I haven't had to close them yet, even though my children are in bed. Anyway, moving on to maths. This week we are focusing on multiplication, which we have covered in Year 3 when we were in school. We've done lots of work on our mental maths times table facts, the mental recall of them. You do your tests with Mrs. Share and with Miss Sears Little on the iPads, and we've done lots of activities in class. We've played some games, we've done some activities to try and remember them, which is a skill. You've got to try and remember all of these facts quite quickly off the top of your head. And obviously we're focusing on our 3s and our 4s and our 8 times table in Year 3, and they're our target times tables. So this week we're going to do some activities to revise our times tables, and we're also going to show you a written method to help us solve multiplications as well. So there's a bit of everything this week, with a challenge on Friday, which we want to test not only your mathematical ability but your creativity, with the potential to win a prize this week, because next week would be normally half term and you won't get any work sent next week because it is half term and we want you to have some downtime. So we're setting a competition pre-half term to see how creative you can be. But you can check that out on Friday. So today, and I did write it on the top of the overview for your parents, you're going to need an empty egg box. Now, if you're in my group or Mrs. Davis's group, we would prefer you to use a 12 egg box if you've got one. Don't worry if you haven't. You can use just a 6 egg box. I'll explain that in a moment. If you're in Mrs. Law's group, you could just use the 6 one for this activity. If you want to challenge yourself, use the 12. So inside my egg box, we've got lots of space inside. I'm going to write the numbers 1 to 12 on the inside, not in order, in a random order in each section. Now, you might need a bit of help with this because it is a bit fiddly, and I've used quite a big thick felt tip to get in, and I've done most of them before I started filming, so I've only got a couple to catch up with. There we go. So there's all of the numbers now inside my egg box, as you can see. And to play this game, I also need a piece of paper and a pencil, and I'm also going to need 2 objects, 2 very small objects. I've actually been into the garden and just found 2 little pebbles. They're different sizes, it doesn't matter, but they're quite light and small enough to fit inside the egg box. So this game can be a one-player game or a two-player game. So if you've got an older sibling who likes to challenge you, or your parents want to challenge you, then you can play it as a two-player. If that isn't possible, then you can just play it on your own, and I'll explain how the rules differ slightly. So the way you play the game is you put your two objects inside the egg box, nice and simple, and you give it a shake. When you open the egg box, your pebbles will have moved and landed, hopefully, on two different... oh, this time they haven't. I've practiced this already. They have landed on the same one in here, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to take them out. It's landed on a 10. Okay, so 10 times 10. So I'm going to write the answer to this. Now, the answer to that is 100. So, if you are playing as a two-player game, the other person now would have a go, and they would record their times tables in the same way. And you may have, I don't know, maybe 6 goes each. And the person with the most amount, the total at the end, is the winner of the game. And you can play it as many times as you like to practice your times tables. If you're playing on your own, you may want to set yourself a challenge to see if you can get how many questions it takes you to get to, I don't know, 200 or 300. I've actually already hit 100 on my first one. So I was going to say if you could get to 100 first, but in this case I will have finished. It doesn't take very long. So you might target yourself to get to 300 and see how long it takes you to get there. So let's imagine I'm playing on my own. I'm going to shake it again. And this time it has landed on 2 separate ones. You can see in there it's landed on an 8. Oh, and an 11. So 8 times 11. Now that's really tricky, but we have been learning our 8 times table. So I know that 8 times 10 is 80. And then I need to add on another 8. So 8 times 10 is 80. Add another 8. 88 is my answer. Okay, now if I want to find out how much my score is so far, every time I do one, I'm going to have to use my addition to add them up. So this is what I've got so far. So if I want to add them up, 0 add 8 is 8, 0 add 8 is 8. So far my score is 188. So if you're playing against somebody, it's good to keep adding them up every time you take a turn so you can see who's winning as you go on. I'll do one more. Give it a shake. Oh, it's landed on 2 again, the same. That never happened the last time I did it. It's landed on 5. So 5 times 5. Now we know our 5s because we've done these in year 2. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now, if you're having to do this, like I've just shown you, I shouldn't have done that because I know what the answer is. It means you need more practice with that times table. You need to start learning your times tables so that you know the answer off the top of your head. So I know that 5 times 5 is 25. I don't even have to use my fingers, and I'm going to write it down. If you do need to use your fingers, that's fine. It just means you need lots more games like this to build up your confidence in answering them off the top of your head. So I'm going to add them up again this time. I've got to be careful that I put them under the right columns. So 8 and 5 is 13. Carry it over. 8 and 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Carry it over. I'm now on a total of 213. Okay, so if I'm playing on my own and my target is 300, just to remind myself, I might put my target up there in the box so that I know what I'm trying to get to. One more go. It's landed on, oh, 2 different ones again, 8 and 10. So 8 times 10. And we know this, I don't have to say it's 80. So I'm going to add that to my 213. I'm so close to 300. How many more do I need to get to my 300? 293 to 300. I only need 7 more. So which times table would I need to land on to get my 300 score exactly? Anybody know? Well, I'd need to land on 1 and 7, wouldn't I? 1 times 7. Now the likelihood of me doing that is very slim, but I'll give it a go. But it looks like I'm probably going to go past. Oh, 8 and a 2, so 8 times 2. So I've gone past 300, which is fine. It means that I can stop playing that game and start again, maybe set myself a different challenge. So 8 times 2 is 16, so I've now got a total of 309. So I've got to my target, I've gone past my target. It'd be great if I could hit it. Maybe you could say that you can't write that one down, you've got to answer it, but you've got to keep going until you get the one that you need to make it 300. That's up to you. The aim of this game is just to practice your times tables. So like I said, Mrs. Law's group, use the this one and do, you don't need to do number 1 necessarily, but you could do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and try that if you want to. But it's the same, exactly the same game otherwise. So that is your game for today. You've also got another challenge which is on your overview to do today, which is a flower. I'm going to show you that in a separate video so you can have a look. For any of you that do not have any empty egg boxes, if you've got a pack of playing cards at home, you can do another game for times tables. So again, if you're on your own, you've probably played things like this before. I'm just going to take the joker out. So on the table, exactly the same as what we've done, except we've got cards. So we're just going to ask you to spread the cards out on the table. Now, if there are 2 of you, you take it in turns again and you record it and see who gets the biggest score at the end to see who's the winner. Now, I'm not going to put out all the cards, I'm just putting out a few. So if it were my turn first, I would turn over 2 cards. So I've got a queen and I've got a 4. Now I'm going to class the queen as 10 and this is 4. So I've got 10 times 4, which is 40. That's my first one. Record it in the same way as we did with the egg boxes, and I'll keep hold of those cards. The next person would have a go, or you have another go. You turn over 2 more cards, and I've got 10, 7. 10 times 7 is 70, and record it in the same way as you did the egg box, and keep going until all your cards are gone. A queen and a 5. 10 times 5 is 50. This one's quite easy. Oh, let me choose a different one. Seems to be a lot of queens and jacks. All the picture cards, which are all 10. Here we go. 9 times 7. Now this is a tricky one because we haven't done our 9s or our 7s. So 9 times 7. If you know it, fantastic. If you don't, just try and have a go at figuring it out what it is. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63 is the answer. So you write that down as we did before. So that's the alternative if you don't have an egg box. I'm sure you could root around in the recycling and find one. That's today's game. I hope you have fun playing it. There's another video to watch once you've watched this one, just to show you how to do the picture that we've asked you to do for today as well, because there's 2 things to do today. So have fun and we'll see you again soon. Bye. Hello, I'm back again. So I'm showing you today's game, and on the overview we've also got a little picture for you to do. So I'm only going to show you this really quickly because the other video is longer than I had anticipated, than I had hoped. So I'm just going to show you really quickly. Your parents have got a little picture of what it should look like. So I've just got something with a circle at the bottom just to help me. So I've got a plain piece of paper, I've got my pencil, and I'm going to draw around my circle. Very easy. There we go. And I'm going to focus on my 4 times table. So in the middle of here, I'm going to write the number 4. Nice and easy. Now to make my flower around the edge, I need 12 petals. So just drawing the petals. 1, 2. I'm just drawing them like this so you can see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's a bit wonky, 9, 10, 11, just fits in, 12, it looks a bit like a sunshine to be honest, 12. And then in those I'm going to write the numbers 1 to 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, so there we go, got them there. And then I am going to add to my flower. So now I'm going to do 4 times 1, okay, and then I'm going to do a little petal coming off here. 4 times 1 is 4. Like so. 4 times 2 is 8. Like so. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. 4 times 8 is 32. I thought I'd gone wrong then. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 11 is 44. And 4 times 12 is 48. So there we go, that's what my flower will look like. Now I've rushed it just to show you how easy it is, firstly. But you can do it much neater than me and make it look, you know, that it's in line a bit better, because I have rushed mine. And then you get to colour it in. So I would keep the 2 factors that make the product, so the 2 numbers that make the answer, the same colour, if it were me. So I'm just going to choose, I've got pencil crayon because they're quite nice for shading. So for example, 1 times 4 is 4, so I'm going to do that answer all in orange. I'm doing it really quickly. And then I might do this. Like I said, I'm doing this really quickly. Choose another colour. 2 times 4 is 8. I'll show you what I'm doing now in a second. You can make it look really nice. I just think pencil crayons are a really nice way to colour them in. Felt tips sometimes go through the page and go over your writing. Or crayons would be nice as well, wax crayons. Okay, so I'll just show you what I've done here. So I've done, so 4 times 1 is 4. So I've done it in orange, and then I've done this here, like I've made this orange, that's the first one. 2 times 4 is 8. So I've done them in pink, and then I've done like a moon shaped pink there, and then I'll keep going with different colours all the way around, and by the time I've done all the colours it will represent how they go. So again, be creative. It's just a way that you could stick this up on your wall at home that you can always look back at, and later on the week you might need this for when you're doing some times table work to use to help with your times tables. So I hope that makes sense. So your 2 activities today are the game, which you can play at any time as well. You can pick that up any time and play, and this for you to use as a resource yourself. Put it up in your bedroom or on your fridge to refer to. You only have to do 1 times table today, which we've set you all. But if you want to do the other ones at a later date, so you've got the 3s, 4s and 8s, they're really good to keep hold of for a resource for you. So I hope that makes sense. And don't rush it like I have. See you soon.